compliment of the season. Welcome to the midweek edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the program, PDP louts Buhari over the fall of Sambisa. Ekiti state government promotes 15,000 workers as the end of the year gifts. And later on the show, Naira closes at 485 Naira to $1. I'll be joined by Yomi Olomofe, Babajide Kolade Toju, and Benga Onitilo. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Mr. Forest fell after months of fighting and bloodbath. It was a long road to hell. Colonel Abu Ali and other patriots killed in the fight paid the supreme price for the victory. Today, the monstrous terrorist group Boko Haram does no longer have an operational base in the gigantic forests. Residents of liberated towns in Borno State now have a chance to rebuild their lives. The air of freedom is settling in again. President Buhari has been receiving congratulatory messages since this conquest. The McCarthy-led faction of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has added its notes. It describes the feat as a welcome development. It stresses that beyond Sambisa, all other forests which criminals used as hideouts and bases must be cleared. But thus the fall of Sambisa, the same as the defeat of Boko Haram. A big question to answer, Jide. We want to see, because since in the last 48 hours, in as much as we are congratulating Mr. President and the Nigerian Army for a very good job, but the fall of Sambisa Forest, known as the stronghold of the Boko Haram, is this synonymous with the defeat of Boko Haram?
Of course not. I've explained to a few of my friends who have asked me for my views after the fall of the forest, that the greatest threats that have come from Boko Haram in the last few months have not come from Sambisa Forest. The greatest threats have come from the Lake Chad area. Now, there are other communities where the boys are still present. They are hiding on the Goza Mountains. The Goza Mountains stretch right into Cameroon. Is part of the Mandara range of mountains. So on the other side of the mountain is Cameroon. Boko Haram men have continued to use the Goza Mountains as shelter. They will be looking at our soldiers right on top of the mountain. Sometimes they even turn soldiers. They say, come and get us. So there are other places where they can hide, apart from Sambisa Forest. There are other places where they can hide. I said it before because we always get carried away in the aftermath of this kind of success. I've said it that the last phase of the battle is going to be in the Lake Chad area, and I know what I'm talking about. It's not to imagine that after we've taken Sambisa, the war has ended, is to be foolish. The last phase of the battle is going to be in the Lake Chad area. There has to be consistent clearing exercises in that area. It is only after we have done that that we can feel free. Because when you imagine the attacks that have taken place, Colonel Abu Ali was killed in Malam Fatori. Remember, I talked about Malam Fatori as one of the dangerous places. Before he was killed, 2 weeks before he was attacked, I mentioned that town. They attacked us the first time, chased our soldiers away. Then we fought them for days and reclaimed it. But they still came back in the night to kill one of the finest officers that Nigeria of his generation. So the point that I'm making is The threat has not ended. The threat remains. One thing that should bother Nigerians, because we are a people who do not ask questions. And sometimes when the journalists ask questions, they say the journalist does not like the government in power. And the shameful thing is that even journalists who should actually know better, journalists are also will be attacking you for asking the right questions. So the question is,
They're doing their job.
no, asking the journal.
Protecting their paymasters.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that clarification.
Protecting their paymasters.
Yes. The question is, at the time we launched the attack on Camp Zero, Camp Zero is the headquarters because of the network of tunnels and all that. They can protect the high caliber men there. That's just why it is important. At the time we attacked Camp Zero, Boko Haram men had fled. And the shameful thing is that they not only fled, they fled with their equipment.
Nothing.
They fled with the Chibok girls. So we should be worried as a country. Where are they? That is the question.
Where are
to
the
ask.
Chibok girls?
Yes, because if we had successfully launched
The surprise
a
attack.
surprise attack, we will have encircled them. That's exactly what happened when Sri Lanka defeated the Tamil Tigers. They had nowhere to go. They had nowhere to go. The leader of the group was killed. Some of them who could see clearly that they had nowhere to go, they bombed themselves. But we have a situation in which the members of the Shura Council of Abubakar Shekau, we've not been able to grab them. So as long as they are still out there, I want you to know today, and you can check if you know people in the security forces of Niger Republic. Boko Haram has cells inside Niger Republic.
No doubt about that.
They have cells. There were even communities that they captured in Niger Republic that the Nigerians had to take over from them. Remember the battle for Boso? Cameroonian army had to come and help the Nigerian army before they were able to dislodge Boko Haram after 3 days of fighting. So they have cells. Could it be that they've taken our guests to Niger Republic?
Okay, Yomi.
Right.
Where are the Chibok girls? Because if if we are talking about, let's say, roughly 150, 200 girls, let's just put it at that, and you want to move them, and you had time to move them, you move their hardwares and everything, and that says a lot about our...
Ayo, I must say to you that Nigerians should ask some more pertinent questions. Camp Zero has been taken, allegedly, as we hear. Is it taken forcefully? Is it taken out of negotiation? If it is taken forcefully, there should be
resistance. Level of resistance.
There should be some resistance, and there should be evidences that a battle was fought here. We should see destroyed armaments, destroyed equipment, and what have you. Now, Camp 1 on its own is not the entire Sambisa. Yes, it's a strong base because of what has been put in place there, the tunnels and what have you. So it's a good milestone, but I do not think it's enough for us to now call out all these parties and all these celebrations, because the more cogent questions are yet to be answered. The folks that were in Camp 1, where are they? The equipments that were in Camp 1, where are the equipments? Now, if we could not find any evidences that a place, there is what we call spoils of war. You go to battle, you succeed at battle, you have things to show that having fought this battle, these are the spoils of this battle. So for me, I think we shouldn't be cosmetic about going on, on this Sambisa issue. Serious questions should be asked. We must also, however, commend the Nigerian military. To all intent and purposes, they continue to demonstrate intentions to bring to an end this scourge of Boko Haram. My query is that you just can't begin to show us empty lands, where are the things that were there? where have the ones that escaped, where have they escaped to? We're
Okay.
talking about people who have gone to
Before
Niger,
we
for
go on
instance.
break, bring out your comment on this.
Well,
Where are the Chibok girls?
well, I think people need to get familiar first with the size of the forest we're talking about. This is a land, an area land that's about 60,000 square meters. You're talking about 60 kilometers by 60 kilometers. You're talking about a place that shares boundaries with several states in Nigeria like Yobe, Bauchi, Borno. It goes as far as even Kano State. You're also talking about sharing boundaries with the Chad Basin. We're talking about sharing boundaries also with Cameroon as well. So this place we're talking about is 2 times the land mass of the country of Belgium. That's what we're talking about. So if they are saying we have taken over Sambisa, the question you should be asking is, do you even have the military personnel to take over, to put on ground, to man the whole of Sambisa forest, to even check out the territories? Because the place is a place that is full of a lot of terrible bad roads, because it used to be a game reserve that was designated.
Constructing the roads.
No.
According to Chief
If they've
Minister,
started constructing, we need to
roads.
see videos and proofs on ground. Like they all have rightly said, where are the spoils of wars? All we have been seeing just our own military soldiers running around, arid land.
Those boys ran away before they got
So the thing is this: was there a negotiation that actually went on? Were they notified ahead that they need to leave?
No, we announced that we were going to do operation rescue finale,
So is it that?
which is what I've always opposed some of the
Gentlemen.
strategies.
Let's quickly take this break. Still journalist Hangout, and we're talking about our conquest in the northeastern part of Nigeria. We'll be right back. All right, Benga. Before we went on break, we were talking about the liberation of Sambisa first.
Yeah, well, I was talking in terms of the landmass of the place, and if we're saying we have taken over particular sections, I will agree. But if we're saying we have taken over
The entire
Zambisa,
No.
Nigerians should ask questions, and we need to see proofs. For example, when you watch Network CNN and all that, and when you hear the U.S. government say they've taken over territories, you see the media go all far and
They're
wide.
even usually embedded with the.
They're embedded with the military. And we have not seen any independent media, maybe like routers and all that.
No, they give Al Jazeera
exclusive
rights.
No,
that's
the
one
images,
of the problems we do
but
have.
the images we've been seeing are images of more of our own soldiers or more of our own ammunition. We have not seen images of people that have been captured, where battles were fought, whether there were tanks that were exploded. You know, when there is a fierce battle, all that is shown. You can check the reactive war that is going on with ISIS.
But even the battle for Mosul,
Yeah.
CNN reporters were embedded.
Embedded
You
there.
can't even suggest it to our people. They
So
will
we
not allow you
can't
to go
even
in.
see anything going on. And another thing that gives me so much concern and worry is it that the military has been infiltrated so much that information now filters out to these people to gather themselves and move on so speedily, and we can't find anything on
No,
ground.
we announced by ourselves.
That's
We
that's
announced-
what I wanted to ask you. That
we
in terms of
announced
strategy,
now, we
I don't
announced.
know.
No, I think our
wise
communication
that
strategy.
is.
Let me tell you, because we want to be praised. Everything in Nigeria has been politicized. Even military strategy has been politicized. I grew up as a boy, showing deep interest in military matters. I'm telling you that I've never seen a situation whereby you want to go and attack an opponent,
You tell him.
and then you let the opponent know.
From the media.
An
through the media.
opponent that already has maybe superior intelligence, because they take some actions that surprise us, and then you announce it. Oh, you codenamed Operation Rescue Finale. We want to final battle in Sambisa. We want to go and read the newspapers. And I quarrel with some of these strategies. I said it from the beginning that even moving the military headquarters to Northeast is not the solution. I said it at the time. In the end, we saw clearly that it didn't really achieve anything. But the point is, ability to surprise the enemy is what gives you the greatest guarantee of victory in warfare. And I can use the example of the 1990 war, the Gulf War, 1991, when Norman Schwarzkopf deceived the Iraqi army camped in Kuwait City, gave them the impression that he was going to use amphibious landing to take Kuwait. And Saddam moved his best troops to the coast of Kuwait. But the Americans and the Allies attacked on all fronts. There was really even no effort to come in via amphibious landing. They came in through southern Iraq. They came in through everywhere. And they took Kuwait City easily. So the element of surprise is very important in warfare. But when you let the enemy know by announcing in the media, oh, really we want to impress people, you let the enemy know that, yes, we are coming for you. He doesn't want to die. You can say that, yes, they are stupid people, but they don't want to die.
There's an unsigned
Live
agreement.
to fight another day.
They don't want to die.
Maybe there's an unsigned agreement.
You can say Shekaume actually has strains of dementia, but he's not ready to die. Nobody wants to die.
You have said it is
So that is the thing. So they will run away. So we lost an opportunity to capture Saddam, Shekau. We lost an opportunity to encircle the enemy at Camp Zero and then take the high-profile Boko Haram commanders. We lost that opportunity because we announced that we were coming. And it wasn't the first time that we will announce an operation. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that.
I think I have a call. Hello. Ali is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Ali.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ali.
Yeah, I'm so impressed. If every member of the SS of the Rim is like those of you there, I think the Nigeria press will be given a kudos. Marinot Ali, this is not the first time we are witnessing a war in this country. During the Civil War, on weekly basis, the Ministry of Information, headed by the late Anthony Group, briefed Nigerians of what was happening in the war front. But these days, it is when you talk to Al Jazeera or the BBC, you know what is happening. We were told Mr. President says Boko Haram have been overrun. But yesterday, the presidency came out and denied it. Where are we going from here? I think the euphoria of capturing should be put behind us. So that what happened in Owerri will not happen to us. When the Nigeria troops captured Owerri during the Nigeria Civil War, they relaxed. Instead of carrying out marching operations, the Biafra reorganized, captured Owerri, although the force of led to the end of Nigeria Civil War. This should not happen. And I would have expected the government now to reshuffle the commandership positions. That is what happened during the Nigeria Civil War. When it was obvious that those who were in the war front were taking money, the war was not coming to an end. The government came out, moved Adekule, replaced him with Obasanjo, remove Mohammed, replaced him with IBM Aruna, remove Mohammed Tou and replaced him with the late IG Bisala. That should be done now.
Thank you, Ali.
Crying that Sambisa is Sambisa the only area where this is in the Northwest?
No, thank you, Ali. Thank you, Ali, for the historical perspective. You even
Which is
joined
very relevant.
Nigeria Civil War.
Very relevant.
Very apt too.
Yes,
Very apt
yes.
and relevant.
But we're talking about change of strategy. Do you think there's any need to look at the general operation?
Sure, definitely, Ayo. Most certainly.
If you ask me, I would say the Chief of Army Staff, he has done his best. You don't change your winning team.
Well, I don't know whether to agree with that, Ayo, because you must also understand that, you see, military warfare is continuous flexibility in strategies. You can't just say, okay, it must be General A that will commence the war and conclude it. Even where there are styling evidences in his support, it is only apt and strategic that it should be in the purview.
No, but they are constantly changing the commanders.
Okay, the Lafi Adole.
Yes, constantly changing them. There was a time when we had General Umaru Hussein. There was a time when we had what's his name? Lamidi Adeosun. We have Ezeugu now as commander of 7th Division, and we have Leo Irabo as commander of Operation Lafia Dole. They've always changed those commanders. They've always changed them, moved them to somewhere else. It's the chief of army staff that has not been changed, and clearly he has done well as chief of army staff in terms of mobilizing the boys, going to the war front.
Yes.
If Burate does not give his best as chief of army staff, then I will be forced to think something is wrong with him, because he is himself a great victim of Boko Haram. Boko Haram went to his village, set ablaze his family house. They came back, set ablaze his mother's house. So if Burate gives Boko Haram a kick in the groin, I think it is what they deserve.
We have Austin. Thank you for joining us, Austin. Oh, I think we lost Austin. Yes.
I think one of the things I feel we should be looking at now is the aftermath of these guys going into oblivion and we don't know where they are. How are we going to play our intelligence in such a way
So that they don't surprise us.
so they don't surprise us and we start having bombings in strategic locations like some of the ones that were caught in Ikorodu. Another one that was caught in Abuja market that said quite a lot of them have infiltrated
You will even see that for them to have attempted some bombings on Friday. It means that they are still somewhere, still.
Which means there is a plan. It means there's a plan. So this is where we need to go to the level of super intelligence gathering, and because the war you are fighting is beyond just shoot and kill.
No,
it's a war.
And they appear to me to always have a second plan.
Plan B.
That in case you come here to smoke us out, this is what we'll do. You see, they are not really into taking territories anymore.
Yeah, they are not.
No, they've changed after the election. They are not so keen about taking territories anymore. What they want to do is just go attack villages, steal food, and then destroy those villages and run away because they are really starving.
All right, let me quickly take this call from Bamidele. Thank you for joining us, Bamidele.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Budele.
This Lojo, the other man in black suit. I so much appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
Because you have been a journalist that has not been biased with what you have been saying on this program. I'm following up this program for over a month now. Let's face the reality, sir. When people were saying they should not celebrate or do this, when Jonathan was there, president was there, he promised us 7-point agenda. I've not seen anyone that was achieved. But when Buhari promised us that this insurgency and some other will be the thing of past, let's appreciate the one that he has done. So when we appreciate and also support the man, it can move forward. But when some people have started saying sort of thing against it, like Fayoshi, that have started saying anything about him, how do you want him to proceed or what?
Bamidele, we appreciate. We are saying that we have to be vigilant.
It's very dangerous.
These guys escaped with the guests. Where are they? That's the question.
Where is the
we appreciate. Don't say we didn't appreciate. We appreciate. We praise the military.
What is even saying is that everybody should learn to praise the government and
no, when you are fighting
we have praised them. We have. You see, the thing is, how you say it's in the opposition. They can say what he likes.
He wants to say.
Just the same way that Alhaji Lai was saying what he likes when Alhaji Lai was in the opposition. You cannot stop Fayoshi from saying what he likes. But one thing is that truth is constant. When the government delivers, 1 million Fayoshis cannot change the views of Nigerians. And our own interest as journalists is to encourage the government to deliver. When we encourage the government to deliver, the Nigerians will be happy with their government. That is our own.
Let me take this breather again. We'll talk more when we come back. It's still Journalist Hangout. Welcome back. So, finally on this, gentlemen, what would be our advice to Nigerian Army and the federal government of Nigeria?
For me, I think it's the time for us to be on the highest of red alerts. It's a time to go to, this is not the time to celebrate so much, but it's a time to go to a super level of gathering further intelligence, where exactly these guys are, where are they taking even the Chibok girls and other prisoners of war they have with them. So we must be able to locate that. And also the security agencies all across the country must be on red alert, filtering, getting information on where these people are gathering or where they are mobilizing themselves to do at the moment.
Yomi?
Yeah, for me, first we must commend the efforts of the Nigerian military,
Yes.
their courage. They have done what about 17 months ago we thought it's impossible in our land. They have moved into the war zone and they're trying to get a grip on the war zone. They must keep that up, but it's important that they also, as much as possible, come across with a lot of credibility.
Julie?
Yes, just like my colleagues have said, I want to praise the Nigerian military for the excellent work that they have done. It's not easy to go into war. For the successes that they have recorded against these terrorists, and I want to encourage them not to relent, not to join in the celebration. Leave the politicians to celebrate.
So make their noise.
It is in the nature of politicians to want to politicize everything,
Look for
exploit
endorsements.
every situation. We have not won the war yet. The president himself said until he can secure the release of all the Chibok girls, that he would not believe that he has won the war against Boko Haram.
That's
That
like
has not been
that's
achieved.
like a-
Yes. He set that
a
standard for
good
himself.
goal.
He set that standard for
Very
himself.
clear.
Wonderful.
That goal of the president must be met. Tukur Yusuf Burate should go out with his guys and ensure that we locate the Chibok girls and we finish off these guys once and for all. For now, we have not finished them off. For the fact that they were able to escape before we got to Camp Zero is bad news for me, and I'm not in a celebrating mood now. I'm not celebrating.
So that they won't recalibrate and
They're already
launch.
recalibrating.
They are recalibrating.
They are recalibrating already.
We just must watch out and be on our toes. That's also.
No, they will be planning something sinister now. But we must get them before they implement their plans.
Moving on, Governor Ayodele Fayose has promoted more than 15,000 workers in Ekiti State. The workers cut across local government, teaching service, and the core civil service. A statement by the state government says the beneficiaries are those whose promotions were due in 2012, 2013, 2014. The state says letters of promotion will immediately be given to the beneficiaries, and the cash backing will be effective from March 2017. Isn't this another feat by Governor Ayodele Fayose?
Yeah, I must applaud him. You can say whatever you want to say about this man, but the promotions have been there before he came into power, which have not been effected. 2012, 2013, 2014, before he came there, most of these things are backlog. So now he has been able to maneuver the use of resources in the states to ensure this is done. And they say it will start, monetization will start March 2017. And also, I think they paid 2 months' salaries a couple of weeks back. And also, they said they will be paying Christmas bonus. So the thing is this: the ones we even see as true progressives, I would say they are already cerebral. Are they paying salaries? They can't even pay salaries. They can't pay pensions. They can't even take care of anything in their state. Some of them are even asking their workers to come 3 times in a week. Some of them are asking them they should go to the farm and start farming. So, for me, I think this is what really governance is about. Governance, at the end of the day, is about adding value to the people. It's about the welfare of the people. So if he has done this, I will say kudos to him, no matter whatever negative things people, misgivings have against him. So it's a purely civil service state, and he has delivered in these regards. And I hope, and also, you must commend him. He has been the only governor that has come out with the bill, herdsmen anti-grazing bill, while the others are still running to Aso Rock to beg for help and find out how they're going to get things done. So it's a good one. It's a plus for him. It's a plus for him and it's a plus for the state.
Now, looking at it, Ekiti, I don't know the economy of Ekiti State, but I'm sure if the governor does not have capacity to give cash backing, or if he's not going to be able to follow up paying this amount and promoting these people, he won't delve into it.
Well, for me, Ayo, I think the governor of Ekiti State, His Excellency Ayodele Fayose, is a man you want to love to hate.
Hate to love.
You want to hate to love. He is his own person. One must give that to him. However, it is a bit commendable that you can take a statewide decision and elevate over 15,000 of your workforce. At this critical time in the state of the nation's economy, in the state of Ekiti State's economy, I think he has done a human's thing. It's a very bold, very courageous thing to do. And I'm happy that he strives to drive across the fact that he is an open book. What you see with him is what you get. He has said to them, now look, yes, you're going to get your letter of elevation immediately. He has striven to do some 2 months salary. He has even taken it upon himself to break down how they get their entitlement so that they don't come back after Christmas as poor and broke and all of that.
Yes.
I think it's fairly commendable. He has also said to them that monetization won't come until March. That's a 3 months time period that he has given himself. I just want to hope that he has his acts properly together so that by March he will be able to begin to reflect this payment. You must also give to him that, you know, in the days before May 29, 2015, we had Lai Mohammed, who was keeping us extremely well entertained on every small and major issue as the voice of the opposition at that time. I think Ayodele Fayose has learnt the ropes very well from Lai Mohammed, and he has taken it upon himself at this time
to become the voice of the
opposition. The one-man riot squad. To be the one-man riot squad in the opposition. He's doing quite okay as far as I'm concerned. People like that must exist in our
democracy.
In our
That's the beauty of it.
in our democratic voyage. And in fairness to him, he has come across as somebody who will say it as he understands it. And I think that's basically
no elitist thing about
exactly
it.
what we should try and do. He says he gives it to you the way he sees it. Whether he's seeing it right or not is another kettle of fish.
All based on your perception.
Exactly. But he would strive to.
But a lot of people will look at him that there's this tendency to be extreme in some of his actions and views.
Yes. Like the other day when he decided to put on the army fatigue. If not for immunity, he should have been arrested. Why should you put on an army fatigue? To go like to somebody going to Sambisa to fight?
No, to even lay down the budget.
What was the meaning of that? That was really childish. Honestly,
I guess that's how you should.
But, yes, but you see, you can't wear a military uniform just like that. You can't now. You can't. Where are you going to?
He's the chief security officer.
He's not the chief military officer. He can be chief security officer, but not chief commander.
There's no emergency in the state.
Except if he's pushing us to declare an emergency in the state. But you see, maybe because I'm the son of a teacher, whenever you make teachers happy, I get happy. And remember when Ekiti State won.
Let me quickly take Peter from Taraba. I will come back to you. Hello, Peter.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Peter.
Yeah, thank you. With my greetings to your panel.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I have about this is that I thought Ayo is doing what he has to be supposed to do. Like, some people may hate him for that, some people may like him for that, but he's doing, as an opposition, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yes.
Now, but we want to abide him for that take it to court. Please, it's about this Southern Carolina issue. The people are dying, and the government, the state government, they are not helping issue. The people that they are attacking, even one person has not been arrested, but the people that they are there.
Peter, we've gone past that. Yesterday we talked about Southern Kaduna. So let me quickly take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still journalists Hangout. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. And still on Governor Ayo Fayose. Jide.
Yes, I said maybe because I'm the son of a teacher. When you take good care of teachers, it makes me happy. My dad was a teacher, school principal. My mom too, a teacher. So I can't be happy with governors who are making teachers to suffer. The Bauchi governor made teachers to suffer. I can't rate him as one of the governors that I like. But you can remember what Fayose did when Ekiti State was adjudged the best in NECO, the best performance in NECO. He donated 50 million to teachers, and he says, share this money, let it go across board. If you get 1 naira out of it, it's something. You know, so from time to time, then remember Teachers Day, he donated cars. So from time to time, he tries to lift the spirit of teachers. Yes, he can be a difficult person to like. No doubt about it. It's extremely difficult to like. But then, he has his own merit. Everybody created by God has his merit. And everybody created by God has his own frailties. So, some of the people who would rather want to stone him, you will need to even examine those people and ask whether they are doing the right thing in their respective states. Governors must take good care of civil servants. They must take good care of their subjects. That is my view. And but we can't have a situation where
if you see the way he's loved in Ekiti State,
of
this
course,
is a governor that breaks protocol anytime, comes down from his vehicle, walking to the market, anywhere.
Yes, now eat amala.
I've said that this fellow is just himself.
He's not elitist.
And he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not getting carried away by the
office,
the elevated office.
But he has not finished paying. He's still owing salary, so he's still owing.
That's why
he's still owing civil servant. That's why he paid 2 months. So let him go and pay.
How can you be comparing Lagos?
Ambode is an exception. Ambode is a general exception.
Gombe is not owing. Yobe is not owing. Although I made a mistake because the governor of Taraba claimed that he was not owing.
Okay.
Yes,
but what we are hearing from Taraba is that local government workers, that in some cases, some are even being held up to 9 months. So I take it back. Tarabans, forgive me. It's your governor that claimed that he was not owing.
Moving on now, the Naira has been under severe pressure for months now. Scarcity of the US dollars continues to create ripples in the financial market and the economy. Last Friday, preparations for the Christmas celebration further battered the value of the Naira. It closed at 495 Naira to $1 to $1. But it fought back on Monday when it appreciated a bit. Is Nigeria working hard enough to save its currency, Gbenga?
We're not working hard, we're not working smartly. Why will I say that? As of December 2015, our reserve closed to about $29.34 billion. 12 months after, we have been depleted by $4 billion. Statistics have it that we might close the end of the year with about $24 billion. And now you begin to ask yourself, what is responsible for the current devaluation of the Naira? Now, one of the first things you need to look at is our import bill, which is about $1 billion. I think every week is about $1 billion every week. And we also have the, what do you call it? The float, which the CBN said they have done, which is not really a float. You say you need to float the currency and let the forces of demand and supply dictate. At the end of the day, it's still the CBN that is dictating how much supply of dollars you have in the market, how much is injected. Now, you also have the situation where you have close to about 5 exchange rate regime within the country. You have the bureau de change. Initially, I think they were giving $15,000 weekly Now it has shrunk to $8,000 that it can provide weekly. You have the aviation industry that they said they were supposed to give in about $500 million as sort of bailouts, who only have had access to about $60 million. Still the CBN being the one dictating that. The CBN at one time said, NNPC, a group managing director of NNPC, said at one time, Kachuku, that the IOCs will be the one to fund the forex demand of the petroleum marketers. That one also never really saw the light of the day, because at the end of the day, the CBN was the one determining how much they also allocate and how much they should also control. So the problem we are having.
What about even the yuan swap?
The yuan swap deal never went through. It was just it never went through. It was just a propaganda. Now you have. It was just a propaganda. Let's just forget about that. Now you have 70% of our foreign earnings come from what? It comes from crude oil. It comes from crude oil. Now, if you check our current Nigerian Bureau of Statistics GDP structure, you find out oil forms about less than 8% of our GDP. You have the service sector giving you about 60% of the whole GDP, which is where your earnings truly should come from. So if you are not a productive economy, you are not into exports, how are you going to
get the dollars?
How are you going to get the dollars? That's where it's going to come from. What are you selling to the world? Because we're saying we are devaluating. So it was funny when people were saying let's devaluate. People that devaluate, let me give you an example of China. China at one time or the other always devalued its currency. And you say the yuan is so weak. No, it's not really a weak currency. Because your currency is always benchmarked against the dollar in the global trade. And why they also always devalue is to make the things they are producing cheaper to people, so that more people can buy more and they can produce more.
They are targeting trade surplus.
So trade surplus, so they can produce more. But the question on our own side is this: we're just doing insider trading with our forex. Somebody, Ayo, if you like,
take it at 309.
We have the pilgrims rates.
Then you come back, take some.
We have the pilgrim rates. We have the CBN rates. We have the bank rates. We have the black market rates. We have all sorts of rates. So that is why it's going to be really hard for us to be able to stabilize the Naira, because we have not really floated the currency. The regulator is still the one playing in the market. He's supposed to regulate. It's just like when you have NCC.
I know this is your area of strength. I know you want to fire your cylinder, brother.
You wants
to kill us.
But for me, Ayo, I must say that he said quite a bit about the nitty-gritty of it. Let us, as a country, decide. Look, you can't be talking about the dollar when you have nothing to weigh against it. You are not selling anything to, to raise the value of your own currency. The only thing you depend on is crude oil. And if you have a mono product and you have an economy that is import dependent, you export only one item, and that item is not at your behest, you have no say whatsoever.
You don't determine the price.
You don't determine how much you buy it for.
You're not a major player there.
So we will continue to be in this unfortunate situation for as long as we refuse to look at how we can become a productive, a manufacturing economy. And we must manufacture to meet local needs and to export.
Yes.
It is only then, and from that point, that we will say, okay, we're no longer at the mercy of the powers that play around with the dollar to naira exchange rate.
Judy, at a point in time, I think the Bureau de Change, the CBN or the federal government clamped down, sent DSS, after them really to bust the Bureau de Change all around the country. What do you make of that action? Will that in any way stem the tide? Or are these Bureau de Change operators, are they responsible for the conflicting rates?
The DSS wants also believe that those guys are to blame, that they were hoarding Bureau de Change, and that some of them were actually selling fake dollars, which usually puts Nigerians in trouble when they travel outside the country. That's the reason that they gave for that action. But the fact that you have driven black market operators, you have driven them underground, has also put so much strain on the available forex. Because what it means is that there are not enough people trading in the greenback now, because some of them have already decided to hide. So it puts so much pressure on even the forex that is available. So the point really is exchange rates is determined by the interplay of demand and supply. We have still not addressed the supply issue.
End of it.
Yeah.
We've not addressed it, and until we address it, we'll continue to have this problem. Last Thursday, it sold for 490. So if we're selling for 485 today, I think we should thank God for little masses, because I've been told that by maybe early next year it will go to 500. These are not the kind of doomsday predictions that you want to hear people say. But I have friends who are working in the banks and in other places who are telling me that, look, this thing is going to it's going to this thing. And look, if we are both of them have talked about the fact that we depend so much on oil, but we've been told that we lost 1.5 trillion naira to vandalism in the Niger Delta area, which means that since we depend so much on oil and the bulk of it is from that side, we must address that problem. The militants have told Mr. President that they want to make peace. So in the interest of the Nigerian economy, the president must go ahead and make peace. This dollar thing, remember those producing drugs, the pharmaceutical companies, they raised an alarm recently that they can't find forex to produce drugs.
No, it has even shut down as of today now.
They can't find forex to produce drugs. So we are in trouble if we do not. All the sectors are crying for forex. Aviation fuel marketers, they can't find forex. That's the reason why the domestic flights are delayed in some cases for up to 11 hours. So this is a problem that we must address. And I know that, look, simply going the route of agriculture is not the solution.
Agriculture is not a bailout.
It's not a bailout. People should stop deceiving themselves. The only thing that it will do is maybe it will reduce the amount of forex that we set aside for importation of rice. But until we begin to focus on processing of agricultural products, agro-allied products, we will not make money. Switzerland will give you the best chocolates, and they do not produce it.
They don't have cocoa.
The money is not in the farm produce.
Yes.
It's in the end product.
They will give you the best chocolate in the world, but they don't grow cocoa.
The bulk of employment.
Bring out your last take on this.
Well, I think one of the things, people are shouting so much about 2017 budget. I'm not so excited about it. I'm more excited about the policy that you're going to use to drive things 2017. I want to see an harmony between because there's no harmony between the monetary policy and the fiscal policy of the government at the moment. Until you have that harmony, until we truly float the currency and stop having 5 exchange rate regime, I don't think we are going to go out of this matter. Until we get to that stage and we define, because you are telling airlines to sell tickets at 306, 307 or 316, but you're asking them to repatriate their funds at about 480 naira to $1. Who does that? So we need to harmonize that window. It must be one window.
If you do not sustain one window, if you do not institute the policy of one window, if you give me forex, the greenback at 309, and I need to make money, I look at it. Won't I quickly go and sell it at 400 to these Bureau de change people and not go through the pain of going to import whereby
you don't need to import, you make your money sharp.
Within minutes. That's what Sanusi said, that some people will cross their legs in their garden and make money.
Government really needs to get its acts together and look for best ways possible to arrest these drifts. Our economy is drifting.
It has drifted.
It is sad. It is unfortunate, and I think people in government should, at this time, look critically into this, arrest the drifts, and then let's have some policies that are sustainable and workable on the table.
Thank you so much, Benga Nisila. Thank you so much, Yomi and Judy, as usual. we pray Nigeria will be great again. And somebody actually told me that one day the Naira and the dollar will be at par. I say if
that
this
will be the
happens
day.
in my generation,
Your dream.
That will be the day. That will be the day.
let's continue to be.
Even Putin is not.
It's not that optimistic.
It's not that optimistic.
Let's continue to be. And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode of the program. And if you can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Nigerian time. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on YouTube, at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Enjoy the rest of your holiday.